tremendous topics today. Let's start off with Kevin Durant and Charles Barkley. Yeah, Charles Barkley went on 60 Minutes. Let's talk about their 60 Minutes beef, even though we know this beef is way longer than 60 Minutes. Charles Barkley was on there, featured Sunday night, and he used the time to talk and take shots at Kevin Durant again. Quote, he's very sensitive, Barkley said. Great player. He's part of that generation who thinks he can't be criticized. He's never looked in the mirror and says, man, is that a fair criticism? Woo! You know Durant, I don't know what kind of Google alerts Durant got, but he got the best in the business. That sucker know when somebody got a name and they talking about him, he immediately on Twitter. You know he hit it. He said, quote, this ain't getting tiring, Chuck. I'll never respect the words that come out of your mouth, fam. Just deal with it. Oh, okay. Now, Barkley before said Durant's a bus rider, not a bus driver. He said that in 2022 after that Celtics series. We get it. He also said that Durant seems like a miserable person, man. You know when somebody ends a sentence with, man, they really feel it. Like, man, you miserable, man. like he really empathetic. Like, why are you so miserable? I call him Mr. Miserable. He's never going to be happy. Everybody's giving him everything on a silver platter. Oh, I don't know about that, Barkley. You know that from former experience being a baller. Ain't nobody giving us nothing. We only eat what we kill. That said, he also said he was the man in Oklahoma City. They loved him. He owned the entire state. He boats on them and wins back-to-back championships, and he's still not happy. Then he goes to Brooklyn. They give him everything he wants, and he's still miserable. Got a little point there. Durant's business partner chimed in as well. You know what he said? Chuck goes on 60 Minutes to talk more shit about KD because he won't accept him calling him miserable. And he's sensitive because he won't accept calling him miserable and a follower. KD is top 10 ever. Maybe respect this legend like we did you, Chuck. Oh. Now we getting into it, okay? Another layer. You know, it sounded like KD just was like, dog, let it go. And then his business partner's like, let it go because it never should have been a thing because KD better than you. And that's what I want to talk about. First of all, Team Chuck versus Team KD on this one. I hate to pick sides, but you know in this argument, it don't seem like it's going to end until somebody wins, it feels like. So I'm looking at this for a few different reasons. One is he said a lot right there. How come Kevin Durant, who is by most people's rankings, top 15. I ain't even going to go top 10 because then you'll be like, what? Top 15. Whatever you want to rank Kevin Durant, it seems like all time he's ranked higher than even Charles Barkley, correct? Okay. Now, not only are you ranked higher, I saw this ESPN one where he was 14, Chuck was 23, right? So I'm like, and you got 2 rings and 2 finals MVPs, and Chuck has 0 rings, right? So normal math, normal logic is this is not an argument. What is KD in a conversation with Chuck about? Why is Chuck taking shots at the multi-champion and the better player? Likability comes to mind, right? How is this even an argument that Chuck continuously can shoot at KD without the court of public opinion shutting Chuck down? I wonder because y'all usually do that. Somebody take a shot at somebody better than them. Oh, man, shut up. You just jealous. Or somebody who's a champion and better than them. Oh, this ain't even a conversation. But in this one, it is. Now, I love both of these guys. You know Kevin Durant's my favorite player, and Chuck is my favorite personality. So respect for them both. But at the same time, it just highlights, to me, some of the hypocrisy. I see some contradictions in the way we're grading these two players, or we're grading them because of the bias of likability. Let's talk through that. In this situation, there used to be this old mantra. You remember this? Where the media has the last word. And I remember I grew up in that era where it was like you were almost scared, timid to talk back to the media. Why? Because they held the pen. They held the microphone. They were in the studio. They would get the last word. But I'm noticing more and more that these athletes like, dog, we can keep this rolling because ain't nobody scared of you. And you should have more respect for me because you used to do what I did. And in this case, KD really want to say, his business partner said it, he better than you. What the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, damn, shots fired. It's a weird world we in right now, man. And I think that Never Shut Up has a tremendous space. Not only do I always want to talk about where sports intersects life, but I also want to keep the same energy with the media as they do with the athletes, whatever that means, good, bad, or ugly. And so far, this argument, pretty bad. It may get ugly.